Hey everyone, how's it going today? Parker here at La Parisma Mission State Historic Park, and today I figured it would be fun to share with you how we make Adobe bricks. Now, a common question that I always get is people ask me, hey Parker, how did they build the mission? Well, really, our mission walls, just like what's behind me here at our residence building, are made from Adobe bricks. And as a matter of fact, this Adobe brick process, there's just so much that goes into it, from the chemistry of making the bricks to the construction of the mission buildings. Because in all reality, it took them about 7 years to build La Parisma Mission. A lot of work went into just making these Adobe bricks. And as a matter of fact, in our residence building, there is about 100,000 bricks in this building. That's just in that building alone. Imagine all the other buildings that they had to make here at the mission. All of those are just made from the Adobe bricks. So with that, let's dive into the process of how to make an Adobe brick. So behind me, I have a pile of dirt, and it's a dirt and sand mixture. So what we do is we take clay from just the natural clay deposits from our soil. We're gonna mix it with some sand. We're gonna mix it in our Adobe pit, which is right here. And I have some water. I got some water right here in my bucket. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have hoses or anything like that back in mission time, so it's all carried by buckets to the Adobe pit. And so let's go ahead and we'll jump into our Adobe pit. Ooh, wow, feels really good on my feet. But it's a lot of work because I gotta try to mix all of this Adobe up. So gotta mix it together, and the mixture that we're going for is like a creamy peanut butter. That's what we want this mixture to be. So I'm just gonna mix my feet together. It's really slimy, it feels really good on my feet. So we're getting pretty good with our mix here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna take some straw. So I have some straw right here, just take a little bit to add into here. So what the straw does is we already have a lot already in here because I mixed some up. And that straw is gonna act as a binding. So we're just gonna kind of mix that in, and that binding is what holds the brick together and it makes it stronger. So all of these ingredients are important to get in that right balance, because if we don't have enough straw, our brick, the integrity of our brick's not going to be really good. If we have too much or too little clay or too much or too little sand, then our brick's not going to be the right proportion. It might shrink, might get too big, it might not hold up together. So that right mixture is what we really need. All right, I'm thinking this mixture looks pretty good in here now. So what we're going to go ahead and do, I'm going to use my hands right here. We're just going to pick up some Adobe. Ooh, this feels good. Now come up here so you can actually see this Adobe up close, what it looks like. You can see all that straw that's in there. Ooh, how cool. And I'm gonna take this, we're gonna go right over this way to my form. And this is a wooden form. I'm just gonna plop it right in and just go right back over here. I'm just gonna get some more Adobe here. And we're just gonna take it, put it in. Could you imagine? This is just a really physical job that someone had to do at the mission. This was something that was necessary in order just to have these buildings. We look around our area, there's not a lot of other raw materials like big trees that we can get timber from. But if we look down at the ground, we have a lot of dirt, which we were in luck, I guess, to make these bricks. So go ahead, I just need like a couple more. Perfect. Let's see, oh, I might need another one. I think one more to help get our bricks going. All right, here we are. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna kind of pat the top of our Adobe brick, bring any moisture that's in there to the surface to try to get that out and help the brick dry. Kind of just flatten this out here as well. It's kind of like Jello as it moves. It's really cool. You can see the straw in there. Now, we don't want to lift the form up right now, because if I were to do that, our brick would just fall apart. We need it to gain its shape. So we got to let it sit there for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. So we'll let it sit there, but we're in luck because I made another Adobe brick earlier. So this is it right here in my other form. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll just lift it, and we're gonna lift it straight up and we'll get that brick. All right, are you ready? Here we go. All right, whew. There's one of our bricks right there. Looks pretty good. Pretty decent brick here at the mission. So that's just one of our Adobe bricks here. Now the next step is we have to let it dry in the sun. These bricks aren't fired like the roof tiles or the floor tiles at the mission. They're dried in the sun. So we're gonna let these bricks dry for a couple weeks to a couple months. It really just depends on the weather. So it looks like today and this week, weather is our friend. It's about 70 degrees today. And when we get that nice warm temperature, it's gonna dry those bricks faster. We don't want those bricks to dry too fast though, because then they'll crack. And imagine all that hard work we just did, and then our brick goes to waste. Now another important weather factor comes from the rains. So during the winter months, if you're trying to make an Adobe brick, you better do it quick. Because one, the weather isn't really ripe to let those Adobe bricks dry. It's gonna take a couple months, possibly. But then if a rainstorm happens, what's gonna happen to your brick that's drying? Well, let's take a look over here. As you can see, these bricks here, I had them drying out in the sun. They just melted back into the ground. That's what happened when the bricks were out in the mission and they're drying. Even with the mission buildings, that is something that happened. Because if you didn't seal it with a plaster, these walls, these are all plastered walls here, if they didn't seal them, the bricks would do the same thing. They would just crumble and fall apart. So that's something that's important to remember. Some other fun facts about some Adobe bricks is that our walls, they're about 3 to 5 feet thick. That's because of these Adobe bricks that we made. And each brick, they weigh about 60 pounds. Imagine all of that work it would take just to lift one of those bricks and move them to where you're building in the mission. So it's a pretty physical job, as I mentioned. Now, as I close, I want to encourage all of you at home to try to make an Adobe brick in your backyard. As you can see, it's really easy. You just need some soil and some sand. Just mix it up with some water and mix it together. Put it in a form, let it dry, and you too can have an Adobe brick. So thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been fun, and I hope you all know what our mission buildings are now made of.